Anna, thank you very much for joining me today on this interview, telling us about the successes you've had so far in your fairly short space of time that you've been with AVN. Would just before I ask you to introduce yourself properly, would you give us a flavour of some of maybe the headlines, the key things that really stand out for you that have been successes for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like we have a plan of where the practice is going to be in 10 years' time. We haven't quite fine-tuned how we're going to get there, but I know what the future looks like. And I'm very excited about it instead of keep thinking, I'm ready to go and work at Tesco's.
Spot on. What else? Any other sort of benefits or successes that you've seen so far?
Yeah, so we've seen quite a few successes. We've implemented the monthly fee structure, which has meant that we've got enough money to pay our staff wages at the end of each month, and has brought extra revenue in for the practice. We've started doing some extra cross-selling. We've started charging for a lot of services that we weren't previously charging for. And we've started implementing the one-page plan in-house. So we're on our second month of doing that. And generally working better as a team, and the team having a better understanding of their role within the team and how they can contribute to our success.
Excellent, and that's fantastic. So much that you just shared. Wonderful. Um, okay, so first of all, would you mind? I mean, that's fantastic. Would you mind just giving us a bit of an introduction, Anna? Just tell us, obviously, your name, where your practice is, and a little bit about the practice.
Yeah. So our practice, so I run EP tax. I started running it properly full time about 5 years ago, from a little shed in my garden, and then moved into a shared office. We're now in our fourth office, just about to take on next door's office space as well. So we're about to double our floor space. Got 8 members of staff, and we've got at the moment about 630 clients.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. Really, yeah. So you've had quite a growth journey. Um, just if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about what the business was like before you began working with AVM. What was that, and how was that affecting you personally?
So before we started working with AVN, the one word I would describe it as just chaos. We were um, spending the majority of our time just responding to clients' needs with no plan of what we were going to be doing on a daily basis, let alone a long-term basis. It was a really unfulfilling environment to work in. There was a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. I particularly felt a lot of pressure to need to be at work. I was doing sort of 60 to 80-hour days. Yeah, it was just not fun and a lot of chaos.
Not a great place to be in at all, is it? Okay, well, thank you for that. So, how long ago is it now that you've been working with AVN?
I think we joined end of May, beginning of June time. So only a few months.
Mm, okay, fantastic. So it's great to discover what you've done so far. Why did you decide to work with AVN?
So we decided to work with AVN. I watched some training sessions with Shane last year, and some of the techniques that we learned on those 3-hour-long training sessions, we'd already started implementing our practice, and it had already made a big change. And I thought if we could sort of expand on that, the practice, there's no ends to where the practice could go.
Perfect, thank you. Um, I mean, how did you feel about making the decision to actually sign up? It's one thing to know maybe that you might be better off, but actually making that decision, it can be quite difficult, can't it?
Yeah, it was a difficult decision on whether to join up with AVN, because we weren't making much profit. In fact, the majority of our profit we invested in AVN, but it was very clear to us that in order to become more profitable and in order to get my business working for me, we needed that external help. And the long term is that, you know, we're not going to be in the position that we are now in a year's time.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you. So you've shared with some benefits at the beginning of this session. What, how would you summarise the journey so far?
So when we joined AVN, we were given a practice growth expert. We have meetings every 2 weeks with him, and we're finding those meetings really beneficial. He holds us accountable to the tasks that he sets us on those 2 weekly meetings. It's a lot to take on. It is overwhelming, but in an exciting way, because we know we've got a lot to learn. So it really helps having the practice growth expert there to help us plan when we start doing the different parts of the AVN journey.
Excellent, thank you. Well, I mean, my next question was going to be around the support that you've received. Obviously, you are working with a practice growth expert. Have you managed to access any other people in the team as well? How would you rate the team in general for supporting you?
Yeah, brilliant. We've done quite a few sessions with Jenny, the Tuesday sessions, and we attended the AVN masterclass, and I brought along a member of the team to that. I find every interaction we have with AVN a really positive one.
Oh, good. Very pleased to hear that. So look, if somebody's watching this video and they're thinking, my practice isn't where I'd like it to be, maybe things could be different, what recommendation would you give them?
My advice for anyone who's thinking of using AVN would be to just get on and do it. I think every business needs an external advisor, and it's made the world of difference to our practice.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.